Yes, guys, how are we all doing? I hope you're well. Right. So, just so you know, this is how it works. So, I'm going live across Facebook, Instagram, everywhere. Instagram is about 30 seconds behind. So, if it feels like I'm lagging a bit, it's because I am. So, for instance, Philomena, you've just said Happy New Year. I hope you are well. All right. And you will hear me say that in about 30 seconds. Okay, so make sure you keep up, make sure you comment, make sure you play along. It'd be great to hear from you. Say hello. I'm going to be what I'm going to be talking about today is going to be so illuminating for actors. I, I hope, I actually want this reputation. I hope I've started to get a reputation for telling actors things that nobody else really tells you. Okay. And I know that sounds a bit, you know, idiotic. Yeah. All right. But I really do feel like sometimes, particularly when I'm talking to actors in the moment, when I'm saying something that's so obvious or feels so obvious because of my experience, 2 decades, etc. But when I say it, nobody's kind of been told that. Does that make sense? Okay. So yeah, I've got hello from Rakeem, Toby, George, Frazzlenut. Love that. Ryan says I've missed these videos. Good. But yeah, hopefully, let me tell you what hopefully I've got this reputation for saying things that nobody else says. All right, literally telling the truth about the industry. Now, what I'm going to do today is I'm going to tell you another truth about the industry. And it's not really truth. It's kind of actually, really, it's about where the industry is going and how actors really should be spending their time in 2025. Okay. The problem we've got is, right? Here's the problem. The problem, sorry, I'll just got a nice espresso. Look at that little espresso cup. Lovely. I'm drinking far too much coffee at the minute. This is what I'm going to spell out for you. I'm going to spell out for you the fact that basically in 2025, the acting industry is so different. The problem is a lot of you guys got into acting based upon what you thought was a very different vision of what being an actor is to actually the reality of what it is right now. Now, so many people have really got on board with it. So many people have really kind of understood and really kind of instantly jumped on exactly what the reality of all this is. Okay, but the point is actually it's a very different situation, and I want to hear your thoughts on this as I say it. Okay, things have really picked up on Monday up north. Look, everything's picking up at the minute. All right, if anyone's got any questions, that's fine. I've got a bit of time. Like I say, classes called off this evening. Not my online class, but the in-person classes. And yeah, the weather's bad, so I'm not even able to go out at the minute here. So I'm happy to get on here and answer as many questions as possible. Yeah, things have picked up. How do you choose a monologue for acting school? Do you know what? I hate monologues, and I think it's absolutely criminal that they still use monologues for auditions. Should be scripts. Okay, scripts. But if you're going to pick a monologue, make sure you find a monologue that you connect with. I've always said, write your own. I really would say just write your own. Use the words that you say. Say the things that you say. Write your own. If you can't, find one that you connect with that makes sense to you. Okay? Acting is not about playing a character. It's about finding you and being you, playing you, and bringing yourself to every single thing that you do. And monologues really sometimes just get you to kind of get so far away from that it's not progressive, truthful acting, if that makes sense. Emmanuel's on already. The issue is, as many times as you can say it, people still don't understand that the industry is a business and you need to operate as a business. That is absolutely right, Emmanuel. It is. It's a business. Now, In the next 5 years, what does this industry look like? So let's make this really, really interactive. I want people to put in the comments, okay, what it is that actors are particularly or should be particularly good at. Okay, so to be a successful actor, what do you need to be good at? All right, and I'll get you started. First one is videoing and editing. In 2025, you have to know your way around a smartphone, a camera. You have to know your way around CapCut, a basic editing um, kind of system. You need to know that. All right. But let's say some more things. What do you need to be good at as an actor? Okay. Anything else? Let's have a look. So, yeah, business, marketing. I've heard that 2025 is going to be the biggest year for productions. That's exactly right. Okay. It's exactly right. It's going to be a huge year. This is why it's the best year ever. This is why we're getting people through to our agency. We try to get as many artists on there with really, really good profiles on there. But yeah, so I said it there. You have to be good at filming and editing now because self tapes is everything. Actors have to be incredibly good at being authentic, truthful. You have to be original. You have to make sure that everything that you do is original. And how do you be original? How do you bring originality to things? You bring it originality things with you, with who you are. The only thing that you're really unique at is you being you. So that's why when you get an audition or a self tape, that's why bringing you to it makes that original and makes it interesting and therefore gives you a huge chance of getting that role. So many actors still selling themselves, being true to themselves. Brilliant. Okay. Um, we've forgotten the big one presenting your personality. Well done, Rakeem. That's brilliant. Networking. Yes, you do need your own style as an actor, but what is your own style as an actor? It's you. You. I've been watching Gavin and Stacey lately. Never really got onto it in the first, and all the actors in Gavin and Stacey are unapologetically themselves, and that's what makes it so cool. The kind of it's comedy and they're playing a sent up version of themselves, but they're unapologetically themselves. It's great. It's fun. They're saying things, doing things, and improvising around who they are, sending themselves up a bit, but it's them. Right. I'm good at remembering scripts. Here's the thing. Oh, and we've forgotten the biggest one, and this is the biggest thing that we forget. The biggest thing that actors are good at, that which we forget, is being creative. Creative. Now, people think that screen acting and progressive acting really you lose your creativity, right? Now, what is creativity? Creativity is using your experience, your view of the world, who you are, to create something unique and new. Now, every single time you get a self tape, I would expect that that's what you're doing. You're being creative and you're using who you are, your worldview, to create a unique version of that script or that scene so that then they can go along and pick out and think that would be nice or that would be nice. It's not an acting competition, by the way. I always say this to my actors, and it shocks people when they hear it for the first time. I'm afraid that you've got to get over the fact that an audition is not an acting competition. Everybody who submits a self tape has probably been vetted either through Spotlight or through the agency, so they're not getting in rubbish. Everybody can act. You're not going to get an audition, or you're not going to get a part based on being the best actor. Shock. You're going to get a part based upon you being unique, creative, and bringing you to that role in a unique and authentic way so that they have got literally a subjective decision to make. That's what the best actors know. That's how they approach self tapes. Okay. So there we go. Shock horror. And really, so I've just kind of noted and mentioned all of the different things that actors are good at. Okay. Creativity, authenticity, filming, editing. All right. So it's not competition. really just to kind of get your Laurence Olivier scarf on and go, I'm the best actor here. That's not what it's about. It's actually about, I'm the most creative. I use my experience, life view, and my personality to then create a version of this script, this character, whatever it is, and you get to subjectively choose which you prefer. That's acting. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Right? Now, there's something that you've missed. There's something that you've all missed. What should you be doing day to day? Another thing that actors constantly say is they say, look, I'm not in it for the fame. I'm in it because I love to entertain people. Okay? On Instagram, tell me, do you want to be famous? Do you just want to entertain people? What do you want to do? Why do you want to be an actor? Okay? Be totally honest. Do you want to be famous? That's fine as well, by the way. That's fine as well. Just admit it. Is there a deeper thing that just says, look, I want to be recognized for being bloody great? That's okay. That is all right. Don't let anybody tell you that's not okay. Do you want to entertain people? Do you like the feedback mechanism loop that you get when you've entertained someone and they've enjoyed themselves? What is it? Get in the chat. Tell me. Okay, now I know there's a bit of a lag on Instagram where we've got the majority of people on there, but let me know what it is that you genuinely love about being an actor. Maddie just enjoys it. Simple. That's good. That's fine. That's brilliant. I don't mind the benefits of being famous, but I love acting. That's brilliant. So you love acting. Brilliant. Express yourself in a way that's never been possible, like exploring characters or being yourself. Okay, remember that bit. Now, here's the thing. What if I told you that with that need for you to be creative, with that need for you to entertain people, you want to be famous, why wait for somebody to come along, a casting director or a director, sorry, producer to come along and give you permission to do all of these things? What if I told you you could do that right now? And then inevitably it would actually help with you getting the roles that you want. Here's what an actor should be doing in the next 5 years. This is what you should be doing. You should use your creativity and authenticity to think of a wonderful way in which to entertain people. Forget being on ITV or BBC. You can create your own channel, whether it's on YouTube, TikTok, Reels. And this is the thing that annoys me about actors. I promise you that when I was 16 and before I kind of retired from acting in my early 20s, I genuinely just wanted to entertain people. And if someone said when I was 16, well, you can, and you don't even need a casting director to give you permission. You can do it right now. I would have been locked away in my room with a camera, with being creative, entertaining people, thinking of authentic ways, because I'm a creative, thinking of ways in which I can entertain people. I wouldn't wait for a casting director to tell me that I can. If you truly have what it takes to be an amazing actor, then you have what it takes to get 1 million views on TikTok. Let me explain that for you. So, in order to get 1 million views on TikTok, you have to be very creative. You have to be very unique. You have to be very truthful, authentic. You have to be able to film and edit. Now, if you can't get 1 million views on TikTok and you're not that valuable that you can get like a load of views on TikTok, how do you think that you're going to be authentic, unique, creative enough to get a huge part on television or film? They are both the same. Does that make sense? So if you are truly a creative, if you are truly an actor that is going to do incredibly well in this industry, why are you not spending every single day being creative and entertaining people and not waiting for permission to do it? Why are you not getting millions of views on TikTok, on Reels, on YouTube? And if you say, well, I've tried to put stuff up and I've not got many views, well, if you're not creative enough and you're not unique enough to get a load of views, then how do you think you're going to be unique enough or creative enough to be able to get a huge role where there's thousands and thousands of people going for it? Tell me what you think about that, because I truly believe that. Does that make sense? What's the difference between an actor and an influencer? Because so many actors are actually doing it, like top actors are not even on Instagram. Okay, so here's the thing. Top actors, or let's use somebody, okay, like Tom Hanks, right? Tom Hanks, I think he's actually on Instagram, but Tom Hanks has spent 30 years creating eyes on him, a following. So he is an influencer. Every top actor is an influencer. They just do it in different ways. Okay. So Tom Hanks has spent 30 years creating and getting all these eyes on him that follow him everywhere, every project he does. But it's taken him 30 years to do that. Now he then books a film and there's millions and millions of people want to watch it instantly. All that has happened is with technology, you can genuinely create and get those eyes on you that has taken Tom Hanks 30 years. You can get those eyes on you, well, in 30 seconds with one really, really unique video. And this is acting. This is what you should be doing. Now, there's so many purists who basically go, well, no, I'm an actor, darling. I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't have to. They basically, let's face it, in the next 5 years, a lot of interesting decisions are going to be made around casting based upon those eyes that you have on you. Look, does this person have if you can garner now, as well as that, sorry, you will do this will have so many benefits for you. One, you will understand and garner this ability to be able to be creative. You'll practice and your creative juices will constantly, and you will start to create a persona, your uniqueness, and then it won't just go into your videos, it'll go into your self-tapes. As well as that, if you genuinely get known for this entertainment that you create, the casting directors, producers, directors are not stupid. They see these things. They know what you're about. They know who you are. There's so many actors are doing incredibly well on the back of producing amazing content. If something about you instantly says, look, I don't want this and I don't like this, then my question to you is, are you really, really motivated to be an actor? Because an actor wants to entertain. And if you're saying, well, I don't want to entertain unless a casting director or a director puts me in a show with ITV, then surely you've got different motivations. Whereas if I said that you don't need to wait for a casting director or a director, you can entertain people right now, what is it that's stopping you? Now, let's explore that for a minute. Here's the thing. I'm going to be a bit mean now. There's one thing that does frighten a lot of actors. If the actors are truly honest, and that is, here's the thing: to be motivated to produce content every day, to write scripts, to do things, to act out characters, to edit things, that takes work. Work. If get at me in the content, but some people sometimes choose acting because it looks like an easier profession than maybe working on a building site or somewhere else. Do people sometimes look at acting because it looks like it's easy and fun. Now, then when people then get a big role, they realize that actually acting is really, really hard work. Really hard work, long days, hard work. So I put it to you that actually if you're not prepared to put in the hard work of producing content because apparently you really want to entertain people and it's in your blood and that's what you want to do. But if you don't do it because it subconsciously you think it's actually it's all hard work, all of that stuff. When I'm just going to get a part of James Bond and it's going to be easy, you're in for a shock. You are in for a huge shock. Okay? So there we go. For me, if you are a genuine actor, a creative, unique, all of these things, you have no excuse not to be producing TikTok videos that are unique. And if you can't get any views or you can't make that work, how are you going to be able to? For me, I don't think you're going to be able to get a role out of thousands and thousands of actors and be unique and creative with that. All right. I genuinely believe that. Let's have a look. What are some of your thoughts? I don't think that's mean. I think nowadays people praise mediocrity. They need to work for it. People can be crappy and be told you're doing amazing, sweetie. Really good point. Lajon2X. Let's have a look. Yad underscore AC. I think you've got to be consistent enough to push through it, even if no one's seeing you with content and practicing character workshop. Right? You do need to be consistent. I presume that means sometimes I think in the music industry, you need exposure now to get into the industry. I think credits are a huge way to get into acting. It depends, I think. Cool. Good point. What if the creativity gets copied? Because nowadays everyone copies it and becomes common. That's very true. But look, the way I see copying is the biggest form of flattery. It really, really is. If someone's copying it, it's because you are creative. You are amazing. And at the end of the day, if you get in there first, you're going to get enough recognition in the first place. Okay. Hard work beats talent. It really, really does. Sometimes everything you've done is perfect. You just don't need to look the part. Exactly. Okay. So this is what I genuinely, genuinely believe. So in the next 5 years, so I think the worst thing that I've said, or the most, what's the word? Kind of debatable thing that I've said is if you're not creative enough or unique enough, or to be able to be a very, very successful creator on TikTok, Reels, or YouTube because you don't get any views, then the reason why no one would get any views on those things is because you aren't unique or creative enough. Why then would that same person who's not unique or creative enough to get a decent YouTube channel or a decent TikTok channel or a decent Reels, okay? Why would that person then be unique or creative enough to get a role, a big role out of thousands of people? That's my question. Am I wrong? Now, in the meantime, whilst you're formulating it and getting this right and getting on TikTok, you're going to earn a lot of money. Actors are constantly moaning that they're out of work. This is the crux of it. Why are you not doing this? You earn a lot of money. If I wasn't coaching and training and all of that stuff, I would just go all in on TikTok. Being an entertainment as well. TikTok and entertainment go together like that. The problem is mine is I do a lot on there, I do bits, but I'm teaching and I'm something totally different. And I can't come across as a professional acting coach whilst just doing silly entertainment things. I've got to keep I've got to keep really professional. So it doesn't pay off for me. But if all the coaching just went like that, I'd just go all in on TikTok and just be entertaining. I'd write scripts, I'd do funny characters, I'd do everything. I really would. There's so much money in it. So actors are constantly also complaining they've got no money. If you can't earn, there's people who, everyday people who aren't trained actors, trained creatives, who aren't creative people, earning thousands, and you're an actor, and you're hoping for somebody to give you an opportunity to be a huge role in something, but yet you're not creative enough to earn some money on TikTok when there's people, everyday people, earning money on it all the time. How are you going to get that big role? Okay. Now, that's me being harsh. So that's what you need to be doing in the next 5 years. But here's the payoff: you'll get paid and you'll get known by casting directors. And by the way, here's the thing: I've seen the pattern. More and more and more casting decisions will be made based on how many eyes you have on you that can be transferred to those projects. That's the truth. Okay, let's do some final comments. Okay, let's have a look. I think in the next 5 years, the main way to make it as an actor is to self-produce, making your own work. You're not wrong, Emmanuel. It really, really is. That will be the only way to get exposure. Absolutely. Working hard definitely pays off. Yeah, if you're prepared to put the effort in. Any tips for people with ADHD with acting? No. Do you know what? Don't even ADHD. Forget about it. Okay. I've probably got ADHD. ADHD is I think most of the really successful business people I know probably have ADHD, but I don't really like to talk about it that much. I'll be honest. I just think it was never heard of when I was a kid. It was just people who had massive uber focus in one moment and not in the others. And the only thing I would say is I think that ADHD is an absolute blessing in acting. All right. All right. So there we go. I tried to copy Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know how he dives in deep, deep emotions for a character. How? Emotions, when you're in a character, is your connection to the storyline and your connection to what's going on. And you just have to have lived experience and know how to access it. And that's how you get into a deep, deep emotions for a character. Don't be shy about your disability. Absolutely not. Never. Wear it like a badge if you've got a disability in this industry. You're right over the target, Matt. Thank you so much. Okay. Sometimes you can use your own content on your reels. Yeah. Okay. If you're in acting for the money, you're in the wrong job. Got you. Hard work pays off. Start with backstage. Guys, you've been absolutely amazing. All right. I hope there's a message there for you. Be a creative, be unique, and get paid for it right now. And it'll pay off into your acting career. It's not that we're giving up on your acting career, it's actually that we're enhancing it. I want every single one of you actors to do well. And this is why I'm making this content. Nobody else will tell you this in the industry. Why? Because everyone's so conservative and wants it to go back to how it was. That you went to RADA, and it was London centric, and it was very classist. You had to be posh. You had to go to RADA, darling. Your parents had to pay for you to live in London and put you up in London. And people, would you believe it, people want it just to, and then suddenly you got an agent out of RADA, and then suddenly you got the part of James Bond, or a huge part. And people want it to go back to that. Well, I don't. And maybe I don't want people, listen, I'll be honest with you, maybe I don't want people to get roles based upon the amount of followers you've got or the amount of eyes on you. Maybe I don't actually want it to be like that if it was in an ideal world. But it is like that. So we just have to adapt and get on with it. Okay. Doesn't mean I want it to be that way. It just is that way. And it will be that way because that's this industry. Okay. Have an amazing one, guys. Much love. And I'll speak to you all very soon. Really, really quickly. If any one of you wants a free trial class with my organization, I'm going to put the link to get a free class. Okay, it's www.mzacting.com/200-trials. And if you click on that, you will get a free acting class on me. Okay, we've got one in London this Saturday if you're in London. And we've got an online class tonight on next week, and then we're back on as well with our full kind of classes next week. All right, so make sure you get that free trial class on me. It'll be great to hear from you. It genuinely will.